So what it looks like is the current administration realizes that they don't really have a good chance of winning in November, no matter whatever the mainstream media tells you, any of these left-wing people on any social media sites say, whatever hype they try to hype themselves up, any of these polls they put up. The fact of the matter is there is not as much excitement for Trump as there was in 2016. However, if there was people that decided to stay home during the 2020 election and didn't vote, and they wanted to vote for Trump, which I think probably most people actually came out during that election, they're definitely coming out this time. And if they don't and they want to stay lazy, it's not really that wise of them. So yeah, like it seems like the deep state, the current administration, are choosing World War III because they don't want Trump in office that bad. I mean, the fact that he was almost taken out, and from the information that I have seen and I know, it's at the very least just negligence on the security. I think there's other things going on, but I really don't have any proof, and I can't talk too much about it on this platform. But yeah, given the circumstances with these European countries, Trudeau, basically, I don't think that anybody's came out from the US yet and has backed, but I could be wrong. I just don't, there's just so much out here, so much information. What it seems like with Putin, his latest interview, basically saying long-range weapons, Ukraine doesn't have the current technology. They don't have satellites to navigate these long-range missiles into deep parts of Russia. And he specifically said NATO, basically the United States, we're the ones that are doing this. It's no longer indirect war with Russia. We've been in a proxy war by just funding them. There's different people say different things of, yeah, we do have actually people there, maybe training these people on our technology that we've given them. I don't care about their democracy. Why the hell would I care about their democracy when our own democracy is failing here in America? We're supposed to be a constitutional republic anyway, not a democracy. But you know, that's the thing. So like everyone wants to talk about saving our democracy. Well, you know, it's kind of like it's so similar to my gripe with health insurance, where I am a taxpayer, and besides me, obviously the federal government relies on like printing money, but to pay their bills, but they do rely on the taxpayer to foot the bills for welfare. Like, we are partial to that. When you got people on welfare that aren't working, that aren't contributing to society, people in prison, they're not contributing, and they get health care. Now, I pay for my health care, but with all of my other bills, I really don't have the money to go to a doctor for checkups, and I pretty much try to figure out if I have a problem, I have an issue, try to look it up on the internet and figure it out on my own. Unless it's something very serious, obviously, I need to go get medical help. And it'll just put me further and further into debt. Well, these people who just leech off the system, these people on welfare, they get Medicaid, and they don't have to worry about paying for any type of copay or anything like that, but I do. So without me being healthy and being able to go see a doctor, you know, and I'm relatively healthy for my age, but there's a lot of men who are my age that are not healthy, that the federal government is relying on their tax dollars as well to foot bills. So, like, if we can't afford to go to the doctor, because there's a lot of people who are way worse than me financially. You know, I gripe a lot about finances. And I'm not LARPing. I am in the thick of things. I am in the I'm pretty much simulating what it's like for a young man. With my experience, it's not fun. It doesn't feel like there's any hope. It doesn't feel like there's any reason for me to be here. That's how they feel. So basically, we're the ones being productive, and we're being put last over people who don't contribute anything to society and just take. Even just sending our money overseas, creating more inflation for me to have to deal with, or bringing in illegals here instead of like just sending them back to Mexico or wherever they came from. We're just going to house them here, creating more of a burden on me when it comes to, like, the system. Or, like, I'm sorry, man. Like, it sucks. But, like, I pay taxes. I do the right thing. I should come first over anybody on welfare. And it sucks, dude. And that's what we're getting to is, yeah, help thy neighbor. Well, how am I supposed to help thy neighbor if I can't help myself? Once I am gone, because... Now, I'm okay, but I'm saying a lot of men my age who the government relies on, once they're gone, who's going to be productive? Who's going to produce? Who's going to keep the lights on? Who's going to keep the infrastructure moving forward? Obviously, it's not the people on welfare. They don't do anything. They don't contribute to society. And then they might actually be a detriment to society since, you know, we see the crime and what gets produced out of those type of situations of, yeah, it's and that's what I'm saying with, it's very similar to, like, why should I care about Ukraine while we're failing? Why should I care about another country's democracy? Like, no, I don't care about their democracies, man. We're getting into a time where it's becoming very harsh when you have a bunch of people who you people rely on people like me to keep all this stuff going, to keep, like, transportation up and your car going, your plumbing. You rely on people like me. And keep putting us last. Like, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be, you're not going to be able to replace. You're not going to be able to replace us that quickly. So, like, and then you see, like, these rich people who don't live in any type of reality. They live in some type of, like, fantasy land, and they don't know the struggle. And some of them may have came from the struggle, but it's definitely not what it was. It's way harder now than it has ever been. The people who say it's easy now, well, yeah, there's certain things that are easy, definitely, for sure. when it comes to access to information and like learning things and stuff like that, for sure. But like when it comes to trying to put yourself in the world somehow, whether it's perhaps like trying to like gain fame, like or money, you have to work extremely hard. Like the federal minimum wage is $7.75 an hour. You know, I'm not saying like we should up that, because I'm just saying, like, if all the jobs, like, they only have to pay that. So if all the jobs paid that, for me to, it takes about $21 an hour for me to sustain my life. I would have to work way more. I would have to work almost 100 hours a week. And that's slavery, man. Like, that's slavery. That's why people are just like, it's not worth it. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more people just leaving the treadmill off of life. Probably will. Because they just feel like it's pointless. Not only for young men, well, there's like, you're competing with, there's so much competition when it comes to like dating and all that too. To gain anything in this world is becoming increasingly harder, especially if you're at the bottom. And the solution, like, the people on the left, they usually have good gripes, but their solutions don't make any sense. Make the government bigger, create more taxes, tax me a bit more. Like, that's the opposite, man. Like, what we need to do is stay out of wars, promote peace throughout the world, and our end goal should be denuclearizing the whole world. I'm not saying like power plants, I'm saying nuclear weapons. We should be aiming for decommissioning all the nuclear weapons in the world. And that's what people don't understand. We keep on pushing Russia. Keep pushing them, and they will push that button, and it will all be over. You know, the people in the deep state, they want this war. Sure, have fun living in your bunker with your family, but when you come out, it's not going to be as great as you think. You people are going to be nuts living in those bunkers for years, if not decades. Our world will be changed. I don't want to try to survive a nuclear war, and that's where we're headed. And people think that it can't happen. And yes, it can happen. And Russia can just be pushed against the wall so hard that they just say, you know what, let's just end this then. You want to mess around? We've tried, we've been diplomatic, we've been patient. You guys will not stop. You will not stop attacking us. We need other countries to basically come together and be like, hey man, like, this is dumb. Like, we can negotiate. This is why I like Trump so much, and they don't. They want to keep pushing war. Like, that's like, what is the point of me working just to fund war? What is the point of my existence just to have our country blow up other people? Like, I'm so tired of war. I'm so tired of it. There's no need for it. We can try to figure out a way to try to give people resources that not just, I'm not saying just give people, but I'm saying is like, we can create we're on the way to create technology that will create abundance for everybody, without human labor. And people that want to go ahead and live that old school lifestyle, you know, kind of like similar to Amish people, then go live it, man. But like, I don't want to work these monotonous jobs. I think that they are pointless. They're not pointless, okay? It feels pointless because I'm not going anywhere. And then I'm seeing rich people, they just keep on getting more and more money. They keep on getting, and the government, it just like keeps going further and further into debt. And I'm not going anywhere myself. So like the American dream for like the young person, like the American dream, like people used to want to come here because they could attain that. Well, it's almost impossible. And it almost seems like it's pointless for me to even buy a house anymore. Like I don't even want to buy a house. For me, I had my family. I've been with women. A lot of these young men won't ever have that experience. So why would they ever buy a house? What's the need for them to buy a house? And then we're having all these people brought here that don't have any, like they have a complete opposite culture than we do. They don't do things anywhere, like things that we find repulsive is normal for where they're at. And they can just keep that over there, stay over there in that. I like to live in a civilized society where there isn't constant threat of violence, constant threats of war. I want to be productive. I want to contribute to society. Even if it's just a monotonous job, I want to contribute, but I definitely want to like see like I'm actually going somewhere. It feels like I'm in financial lockdown. That's what it feels like. That's how it feels for the youth. They feel like they're on financial lockdown. That they're running just to be able to make ends meet, and I don't think that they're even making ends meet. I don't think they're even being. You have so many people in severe credit card debt, and people act like everything's okay, and it's not. So I don't think that they're going to have elections. That's why we're pushing for war with Russia, so they can be like, we're at war now, so like we're gonna postpone elections. Very, very, very like irresponsible. And then they're gonna try to draft your kids. And good luck with that. Like seriously, I'm not going to fight for Ukraine. I'm not gonna go fight for Israel. And if I ever got drafted, which is highly unlikely because I'm an old man, but if I was a young person, dude, I would not fight for this country. I'd just go ahead and lock me up. I'd rather be in prison. I'm already in prison. I'm not going to go and fight. Go look at some of these drones. Like, yeah, you're not, you get put on the ground, good luck. I don't want any part of that. And I don't think that the youth wants any part of that. I think that, you know what, if these people want war, I think these old people, these rich people, they should go over there and fight it. Stop using our youth. And what they're doing is they're trying to make things really, really hard on the youth. That's why they want like recession. That's why they want jobs taken away. So the youth has no other choice but to join the military. That's what they want. It seems like that's how it's always been. They want to cull the male population. I think that they think that it's too big. And that's, it almost feels like there's a scarcity of women out here. It really does, man. It feels like it seems like from what I'm hearing, there's more women than there is men, but when you have so many women, I think that the 21% of the Gen Z is LGBT, so that contributes to the problem. Also, you have we have a health problem, so we have an obesity problem. Well, like for men, that's not, most men don't like that. I'm sorry to tell you, most men don't like that. Then you have the extra high standards just because of the scarcity of what could possibly be somebody that you might want to have a relationship. And then you have the debauchery of the current woman, where they just don't, they don't respect themselves. You know, you might meet somebody and then find out that they've had an OnlyFans or whatever. It's like, I don't want that. I don't want a serious relationship with you. So like, there's all these different factors that are just pushing, that are anti-family. And that's what I'm saying, is like, this society is anti-family, and it is not a place that you want to bring kids into. Oh, this is the greatest. Yeah, we have an abundance of food, and we have electricity, and we have necessities that are taken care of if you work extremely hard, or you don't have to work at all and just get government assistance. That's another problem, is when welfare, Big Daddy government replaces the father for providing. That's another reason, like, go have kids so she can just leave you. Like, I think a lot of relationships are ending based off of just superficial things that possibly can be corrected. But the problem is when a woman like emotionally gets over a man, it's done. It's for a wrap, and it's really hard to come back from that. I'm not saying that's impossible, but when she has like so many guys, she has so many guys hitting her up all the time. Men are so thirsty nowadays. They don't have any type of respect for themselves. They simp all the time. I think I've seen something where OnlyFans has generated more money than the NBA or something like that. So this society is highly toxic. It's so toxic that people who are Christians, who are supposed to love God, are pushing bullying people. I think that's crazy. And you can say, oh, you're woke. Hey, listen, man, bullying people, I troll people, man. I like to troll people, but there's a line you cross where it's just enough's enough, but you keep on pushing forward. And that's a bullying, is like, it's not just like a little bit of a ridicule. It's a constant ridicule that you will not let up. It's relentless ridicule. Like I said, this is a toxic society. And then when you got these people who are supposed to be conservative defending vulgar language on t-shirts or flags, who are supposed to be conservative people, you know, you live in a decaying morale, a society with less and less values. And I don't know when the breaking point will come, but I just feel it's coming soon. I don't know what the extent of that breaking point will be, whether it's going to be like civil war, revolution, or whatever. But like, I just know whatever we're doing now is completely unsustainable, just like my health insurance. When you got people who don't contribute anything to society, they're taken care of, but I'm not, and I'm contributing to society, and the government needs me to help supplement some of the bills, but these people are being put first. I'm all for like being a humanitarian and helping other people out, but why would I, when my house is on fire with my kids inside, why would I go to another house, my neighbor's house, and save their kids when their house is on fire, and just neglect my own kids. You know, we live in a society where we have too much access to strangers, too many people that we don't know, and this is contributing to the problem, the breakdown of the family. Like, for instance, my family, we live all over the United States, all over it. I have family everywhere, and I used to think that was cool, but it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem because there's not the familiarity there. And it's just like, hey, Merry Christmas over. It's like getting like the extended family nowadays is pretty much happy birthday on your Facebook wall. And it's kind of like the same thing as what corporate companies do when they send you like a birthday email. It's like, thanks. And it's not and trying to like pay for, it's like, here's some money, like things, there's nothing there, man. So we only care about ourselves. So like, this society is not children friendly at all. Completely unsustainable.